Good Tuesday evening, March 25th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. After a vote of the school board, longtime administrator Spencer Taylor will remain the Eastmont School District Superintendent. Monday was a busy workday in Olympia as Democrats in charge of the state Senate and House released their operating budget proposals. We could see possible record-high temperatures tomorrow with cooler and rainy weather for Thursday. I'll have all your local weather details straight ahead. A man was arrested last night after a nearly 3-hour standoff with the Douglas County Sheriff's Department and the East Cascade SWAT team. Sheriff Kevin Morris says that at roughly 2:42 p.m., deputies were dispatched to reports of a man threatening individuals and assaulting neighbors with a taser-like flashlight. After several unsuccessful attempts to negotiate the suspect's surrender, assistance was requested from the East Cascade SWAT and crisis negotiation teams. When SWAT arrived, traffic on Highway 97 near Orondo was rerouted for public safety. At roughly 5:46 p.m., 39-year-old James Scott Martin was arrested and booked into the Chelan County Regional Jail on suspicion of second-degree assault. Prosecutors have yet to file formal charges in the case. Longtime Administrator Spencer Taylor will remain the Eastmont School District Superintendent. The Eastmont School Board unanimously approved hiring Taylor to a permanent position last night. He took on the job on an interim basis in January after the departure of former Superintendent Becky Berg. After Monday's meeting, Taylor told NCWLIFE News his priorities include better communication, a successful strategic plan, and a future bond measure. He also said he's overjoyed to stay in the role.
Who knew that I would end up in this position and to be in such a great school district? I feel like I just lucked out. To be Eastmont superintendent just feels kind of surreal. I think ultimately Eastmont has a great culture, and maintaining that culture is so important. I heard Eastmont's a special place from so many people. Eastmont's home. I heard that from many kids. And that's something I don't take lightly. That's something that could change if it's not monitored, supported, nurtured. And so that's a priority for me, as well as being out and about the district in classrooms, at performances, athletic events, engaging kids, engaging parents, and then out in the community. That's also really important. I want people to know me, so I can tell them about how wonderful Eastmont is.
Moses Lake police say a teenager from Mattawa was arrested Monday in the drive-by shooting that killed a 14-year-old boy in Moses Lake 4 days ago. The suspect, also age 14, has not been identified, but police say they were arrested after checking into Cadlick Hospital in Richland on Monday night for treatment of a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. The youth had been shot in the lower leg. Detectives believe the wound was self-inflicted during the Friday night gunfire that killed Mario Amezcua Santoyo of Moses Lake and wounded 4 other people who were traveling in the same vehicle on West Loop Road. The teen suspect was booked into juvenile detention. Police are seeking a charge of first-degree murder. Chelan County District Court wants to help people get relief from fees and legal debts that may have piled up after their misdemeanor cases. Judges Alan Blackman and John Vollen announced last week the District Court and its probation office are offering a limited-time debt relief program. From April 14th to June 14th, anyone with unpaid fines and fees can seek to pay them off at a greatly reduced cost. Anyone who could benefit from debt relief is asked to call the District Court or Chelan County Probation to check on their eligibility. When we come back, Monday was a busy workday in Olympia as Democrats in charge of the state Senate and House released their operating budget proposals. And Grant County Sheriff Joe Crete has issued commendations to 30 people in his department and others who responded to a deadly mass shooting. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Monday was a busy workday in Olympia as Democrats in charge of the state Senate and House released their operating budget proposals to guide Washington government over the next 4 years. Albert James, Murrow News Fellow with the Olympia Bureau, walks us through the proposals and explains why the state treasurer is raising some concerns.
We focused on building a thoughtful, sustainable plan that protects the services that people need and promotes our long-term fiscal sustainability.
Senate Democrats are proposing the state spend $77.7 billion over the next 2 years, an increase of about $6.5 billion from the current 2-year budget cycle. They attribute $4.4 billion of that increase to money needed to maintain current programs due to increased usage and inflation, while $1.6 billion represents new investments in areas like K-12 material and operating costs and special education. Over the next 4 years, Democrats say they're saving $6.5 billion in part by delaying expansions to state child care programs and requiring state employees to take furlough days throughout 2026.
Washingtonians have asked us loud and clear to look for reductions and write a balanced budget that both makes reductions as well as makes investments and adds to revenue.
As they await revenue from new taxes on the wealthy and sales and property tax changes they proposed last week, Senate Democrats plan on using state reserves in 2026 to fund the budget before refilling the accounts in the years after.
It does go low, but it quickly builds back to a very strong point due to the revenue that we're assuming.
State Treasurer Mike Pelliciotti has warned against using up state reserve funding, saying it could have a negative impact on Washington's credit rating and the state's ability to respond to economic challenges on the horizon.
We are dealing with incredible uncertainty now as the state of Washington, both with the federal government, wildfires, and other threats that might come our way, and just economic volatility. It is absolutely critical that the state not drain its rainy day fund. To do so would be very dangerous toward the future financial health of our state.
In the House, Democratic budget leaders did not touch state reserves. While they also proposed new revenue sources and have similar amounts of spending and reductions, the House proposal has slight differences from the Senate in how they're bringing in that revenue and what they're cutting. For example, they're not telling state employees to take mandatory furloughs.
We cannot balance the budget on their backs. Everything we have fought to maintain is supported by their work, and we continue to rely on their good work and want to honor that work.
The governor's office says they're in the process of reviewing the budget proposals. Governor Ferguson previously made it clear he wanted cuts first and new taxes as a last resort. Both House and Senate Democrats say they worked off his suggested spending reductions, but budget cuts alone won't work.
The impacts would just be too deep and too catastrophic for our communities and our kids. So we think this takes a balanced approach, and we really look forward to the conversation over the next many weeks.
In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Grant County Sheriff Joe Crete has issued commendations to 30 people in his department and others who responded to a deadly mass shooting. Police and rescue agencies countywide sprang into action after the June 2023 shootings at the Gorge Amphitheater Campground, which killed 2 women and injured 3 other people. In an annual awards ceremony on Friday, Crete gave each of the responders a sheriff's coin for their part in the response. Sheriff's Detective Corey Judkins and Moses Lake Police Detective Edgar Salazar each receive a Medal of Valor for their actions to stop the shooter. Other awards went to deputies and others who gave life-saving medical aid or assisted in rescue operations throughout Grant County over the last year. Coming up next, we will visit with a Chelan dairy farmer who creates artisan cheeses in tonight's feature story. We will be approaching record high temperatures tomorrow with cooler weather and showers on tap for Thursday. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. You can use this lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Laurie Neal is a Chelan farmer who creates artisan cheeses with help from her small herd of dairy cows. Last year, she and other West Coast dairy farms were selected to share in $690,000 worth of grants through the Dairy Business Innovation Initiative, a federal reimbursement program managed by the Department of Agriculture. Then, after spending thousands of dollars for new equipment, Laurie found out the Trump administration had frozen the reimbursement funds. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE News visited her business, Laurel's Crown Farmstead, to find out what happened next.
We were given the go-ahead to start spending money December 2nd. And it's, as are pretty much all government grants, I think, they're on a reimbursement basis. So you spend and then you turn in your receipts, justify, and then you get reimbursed. Towards the end of January, there was kind of some rumblings, and we were getting ready to purchase the pasteurizer. And we wanted to get in before any increases in cost on stainless steel and that kind of thing. But we asked the question, should we be concerned here? And we were told that the USDA basically was saying, no, things are going ahead as planned. So we went ahead and purchased the pasteurizer. And then kind of we started getting messages from our facilitators that said that USDA was not communicating with them on their questions. And then finally on February 28th, they said all of the funds have been frozen. There will be no reimbursements right now, and we have no idea when that's going to change. Having come from a background of grants, the scrutiny of how you spend your money is extreme. You know, like I said, I've worked for a grant program before, and I know what we have. I know what's allowable, and I know what's not allowable, and the amount of scrutiny that every dollar you spend comes under. This is actually our milk processing facility. So it comes in here. I have 2 milk tanks. Law requires, that's my storage milk tank. So the law requires that new milk be less than 50 degrees before you add it to previously milked milk. So we bring it in, we put it in here, we drain it back out into the bucket, pour it over there and mix it together. And then the white one on the end there is the pasteurizer. This is 145 degrees for 30 minutes. So the milk just is a better quality for cheese making than a high temp. So for example, if I went and bought a gallon of ultra pasteurized milk at the store, it won't coagulate. You can't make cheese out of it. So I bring it in, I pasteurize, then we pump it through here, up in these lines, and over into the cheese vat, comes down into the cheese vat. We're kind of the largest dairy in Chelan County. I mean, I'm it. There's a couple of folks producing milk, but best I can tell, I'm the only cow milk cheese producer in Chelan County. Thankfully, dairy people tend to be really accommodating, so I can call just about anybody in Western Washington with the coalition and get questions answered, which is very cool. So I spent most of last week talking with media outlets and with legislators. Our legislators here were amazing. Their staffs really asked really pointed questions. And then finally, after 5 days, for whatever reason, the USDA completed their review of the grant and released the funds 5 days later. You know, we're in a much better position than other people that we've talked with. You know, there were people that they had money that they had taken out of their day-to-day operations and then found that it was not going to be reimbursed. And that was a significant hit for those folks. Thankfully, we'd gone in with eyes wide open and didn't pull money out that we had to depend on. There were a lot of people asking a lot of questions. And one of the farmers that I work with for my supplies had commented on a post that someone made, and that was that American farmers need these type of programs in order to remain competitive. And I totally agree with that, because here we do what is best. I mean, we pay a decent living wage. We give reasonable working hours, but it does give us a disadvantage in places that don't have those requirements. And so these types of grants offer us the opportunity to innovate and expand where otherwise we might not have the opportunity because we just can't get far enough ahead to do that. We have a story to tell, and we're local, and I'm not the only local farmer with a story to tell. And there's a lot of us, I think, out there. So if anything else, you know, support your local farmer. Go visit them at the farmer's market. Go find out who they are, because they're living and working here because they want to and they love to. I'm really happy with where we're at. My husband's getting there.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Tuesday, and boy, how could you not have had a great day today, especially if you were outdoors at all. Look at this shot outside our weather window from this afternoon, a mix of sun and some of those high clouds out there as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Wenatchee Heights tower camera. And fantastic weather out there today. We didn't set a record today, but we were awfully close. But as we get you into Wednesday, that may change a little bit. We may set a record high. Here's our forecast. We did get to 70 today. 74 is our forecast high tomorrow, and that would tie a record high here in the Wenatchee area. But look at some of these temperatures. Even Moses Lake tomorrow, you could see a new record high at 75 degrees. So it's unbelievably warm for the end of March, and it looks like that will come to an end as we get to the end of the upcoming week. As I mentioned, today's unofficial high temperature we got there, 70 degrees, 14 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 56. There's our record, 74, and that's been around a while, set in 1960. 45 this morning, 36 our normal low temperature, and 21 our record low. That was set in 1996. Sunrise this morning, 6:53, and sets tonight at 7:21. Let's get you into those beautiful Wednesday temperatures. These look like today's temperatures, but tomorrow we will be a little bit warmer. All right, tonight we do expect some high clouds out there, a lot like we're seeing right now, but boy, very stable weather and warm overnight with low temperatures in the upper 40s. Boy, that's very mild for this time of year. As we get into Wednesday, this could be our record setter, as we mentioned. Partly cloudy skies. It looks like a lot of those high clouds once again for us tomorrow. Warm with high temperatures in the mid-70s, even 75 to 80 for parts of Washington on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it all comes crashing down, mainly because of this area of low pressure, and it's a big storm system. It's going to bring us mostly cloudy skies and about a 50% chance for rain on Thursday. The big news will cool down, back down into the upper 50s for highs, so a little bit closer to where we should be. And then by Friday, that system will move just a little bit to the north, and look at all the clouds and showers for Friday. I think that should probably be the 50% chance of rain for Friday, with high temperatures dropping down into the mid-50s for highs. And then as we get you into the upcoming weekend, not too bad. Partly cloudy skies. You can see another ridge building into the Pacific Northwest. So a mix of clouds and sun to start our weekend. High temperatures, not too bad in the upper 50s, maybe pushing 60 on Saturday. By the time we end our weekend, high clouds out there once again and mild, a lot like Saturday, with highs again in those mid probably to upper 50s on Sunday. And then as we kick off our next work week and our final Monday of March, cloudy skies, could see some breezy conditions here in the Wenatchee area. Yeah, 60% chance of rain on Monday with high temperatures in those mid-50s. All right, your 7-day forecast. Upper 40s for lows the next couple of days. 74 our high tomorrow. Once again, that would tie a record high here in the Wenatchee area. And then we'll cool off and get a little bit wet for Thursday and Friday. About a 50% chance of rain both days. 58 Thursday, 55 Friday. And then partly cloudy skies for our weekend with highs in the mid to upper 50s, with cloudy skies on Monday and a good chance for rain. High temperature then 56 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Grandstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at MerryMaidsOfWenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So relax, it's done.
And a good Tuesday to you. The Seattle Mariners wrapped up the Cactus League schedule yesterday with a tie. Yes, they do allow ties in the preseason. San Diego scored a run in the bottom of the ninth inning, and the two teams walked off shaking hands with a 7-7 kiss your cousin type of a game. It was not a good day for Brian Wu in his last start to the spring. He was knocked around, gave up 6 runs on 10 hits and 4 1/3. He struck out 2, he walked 2, gave up a home run. Mariners head back home for the home opener and opening day game coming up on Thursday. Dan Wilson on Sunday during the broadcast was mic'd up and was talking about the spring and the upcoming opening day.
It's been a lot, obviously, been to spring training a ton of times before, but not in this role. So kind of looking at it from a much different lens but it's all gone very smoothly. And I think, baseball is a very individual game, but on a lot of levels and more levels, it's a team game, and having an incredible staff, having an incredible group of guys really, really helps. And thank you. It has gone smoothly, and it's a big credit to a lot of the people around here. here, and it's been a good camp.
You know, Dan, you've really preached that winning games in April and May are just as critical as winning those games in August and September. So what have you felt, that you've been able to do to make sure that this team is ready to hit the ground running? Is it culture? Is it mindset? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all of that, and we've talked about it since day one. We really talked about it at the end of the year last year, and we've been able to follow through with that down here in spring training. We've talked about the little things. We've talked about hitting the ground running and coming out of the gate, and playing consistent baseball. I think that's the key, and that's the key to this league is playing consistently. From the beginning of April through the end of October, and that's our goal, is to play the brand of baseball that we're going to be used to playing, and that's the little things. That's pitching well, that's playing good defense, and offensively doing the things that we need to do to score runs, and we're going to do that all year long.
Polanco puts a charge into this down the line. It is fair. It is gone, and Jorge Polanco, who's having a really strong spring with the bat, just goes yard to put the Mariners up 1-0. Dan, you have to stay on now. You understand this, right?
Yeah, of course, Aaron. Anything for you, Aaron.
Hey, Dan, in all seriousness, right now, there are thousands of Mariners fans roaming T-Mobile Park as we speak, part of the opening week warm-up. They are watching the game. They are getting excited for Mariners baseball Thursday opening day. What would you like to say to all the fans watching right now?
Well, obviously the fans are a huge part of what we do, and I just want to alert them that these guys have worked really, really hard this spring and are in a really good spot, and we are so looking forward to bringing Mariner baseball back to Seattle here at the end of the week, and these guys are raring to go. We're putting the finishing touches on here the last couple days, but come Thursday, we're excited to get back into the electric factory, as it was once called, and get back to the home fans, and we're excited to bring a really good style of baseball, and one that we're going to take us through all the way through the end of the year.
Mariners will host the Athletics on opening day, and that'll be Thursday night at 7:10 at T-Mobile Park. The game broadcast on Root Sports Northwest. Seattle Kraken continue their road trip. In fact, they wrap up a 4-game road trip in Calgary tonight, while the Flames are vying for that wild card playoff spot with St. Louis. They trail the Blues by just 4 points heading into tonight. Kraken have no shot at the postseason, so that allows a little more time to think about other things, including a language barrier between the Finns and the Americans.
Yes, I do, because I think you're filled with thoughts and filled with words all the time when you're out there on the ice, and they for Yanni, and at this particular time they come in Finnish thoughts, not in English thoughts, and so that can stop you from talking and stop you from communicating on the ice. So yes, I mean, it's tough for Maddie then, because Maddie doesn't know any Finnish, but I think the language barrier, especially on the ice, so it's brief and intermittent between the two. They're not always together, and they're not always making the play, but I think it's really more off the ice that it's more valuable. Just in between shifts, when you're talking about a play or communicating about a thing, it's easier for those guys to convey their thoughts. Maddie has to nod his head, but
no, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Cap's our translator. He'll say something to Yanni and then tell me what he said. Because we had one earlier on, and I started saying something to Yanni. He was like, I just told him. I was like, all right.
They'll drop the puck at 6 o'clock tonight. That'll be on Kong TV. It's a busy Tuesday on the prep calendar. Let's start it off with boys soccer. Moses Lake earlier today was taking on Davis on the road. Brewster hosting Liberty Bell. Manson traveling to Bridgeport. Oroville hosting Soap Lake. Othello visiting Ephrata tonight at 6, while Quincy hosts Sela and Cashmere visits Connell. 7 o'clock matches have Wenatchee at West Valley, while Omak is hosting Okanagan. On the girls' fast pitch softball schedule, Riverview playing 2 games Liberty Bell today. Omak is hosting Okanagan. Waterville Mansfield has a doubleheader at Manson. Chelan is hosting Cashmere. Brewster plays at Bridgeport. Eastmont visiting Wenatchee tonight at 6 o'clock. And in prep baseball today, earlier it was Moses Lake visiting Sunnyside. Liberty Bell is hosting a doubleheader against Riverview. Wenatchee plays at Eastmont tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium on the college campus at Wenatchee Valley. That game already underway. Cascade playing 2 at Tri-Cities Prep. Okanagan is hosting OMAC. Ellensburg visits Quincy. Manson hosts Warden. Brewster plays at Lake Roosevelt. Ephrata hosts Sela. Chelan is hosting Kashmir tonight at 6 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.